Take two, baby. We're gonna get it right this time, right? We're gonna get it right this time, right?
One is not the lowliest number.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Oh, what a banger, man. I love that song. We're gonna have to do a Beatles episode.
It's a banger song. Hello, everybody. This is episode, what? We got 24, ain't it?
Yeah, this is number 24. Number 24. We're doing heroes and villains from different countries today. We're actually not going to be wasting any time because this is going to be a record-breaking episode for Tam, as this will probably be our longest one.
So far.
Yeah. What is your personification?
Be the longest one.
Yeah. And, when we think of heroes and villains, we have different personifications of them, whether they be soldiers, cartoon characters, TV characters, your favorite politician. There's so many different views of heroes, and you're going to see that with today's renders that were submitted by Red. So I'm very excited to talk about these today.
He's basically supplied this episode with enough material.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The whole episode. And we are going to start it off with Antarctica. Well, hero and villain side looks beautiful. What are your first thoughts?
Videos coming in about much better this time around too, so I can see the mountains a little better. They did a good job representing the light and dark of the hero and villain, because the hero's definitely got like the sun going on the left side, and he's almost got more of a closer tie to nature, it looks like.
Yeah.
Where the villain's more distant from nature, and it's almost like cryptid things that he's walking about in that realm. His realm is darker.
Yeah, more. There's more to talk about in the villain side. On the hero side, we have the giant penguin, which is a big major representation of Antarctica alone. First off, very beautiful. I also like here that we have that the hero here is a simple explorer. His power is knowledge. And with the villain, we have here someone who has like this palace in the middle of the creek here, of the Antarctic Creek, which kind of plays into the fact with global warming and things like that. So maybe this character, this brooding dark character we have here is his home with his companion, and it looks like there's some kind of like fortress up by the mountains there too. But I love this too because it looks like he's using the mountains as kind of like a hideout for himself to kind of stay away from everybody, whereas you have the hero who is out in the open. He's not hiding. You see him.
He's learning from the land.
It's his
rather than trying to control the land.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like that you mentioned, though, that it was like global warming. So maybe in a sense, too, that like the villain was thawed out. He had been under ice for a very long time. Then the global warming came in.
The science in that could back it up, too.
Yep.
It really could.
There's some science in that comic book.
Yep. You ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
So we have 3 for Ukraine. I actually want to. So we have the 2 villains on the side, the 2 heroes on the sides, with the villain in the middle. But dare I say, maybe the one on the right might be an anti-hero.
Could be. Very much could be.
Right?
Because you don't get to see his face. He's still kind of impersonal a little bit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I was going to ask you, too, when you said that. I'm like, okay, now I need help for a second. Which was the villains? Pretty much so. The one on the left was a good guy.
Yeah. With everything going on in Ukraine, I think this is a great representation, too, of the hero. The villain, it just looks like he's ready for that action. Like he just looks like he's here for it, man. And I'm not mad at it. I love it too. I mean the anti-hero that I'm calling him, he has another flag behind him. I don't want to make it
very dark.
Yeah, no, he's like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
I really like this one. I really like this one. Slava Ukraini.
Slava Ukraini. Which means? I don't know what it means. That's why I'm asking you.
So Slava
Ukraini.
like
long live?
It's like long live, glory. No, it's glory to Ukraine.
Okay.
Glory to Ukraine. They're saying it now. You know, the origins of them is actually from their song. Our song will not die, will not perish. Oh, their people is our glory, the glory of Ukraine.
Yeah. I like how the villain looks very more old world old country, and the good guys look more modern.
Yeah. Here we have Australia. We have our friend Bingo here. He is a dingo in the representation with an allied American flag behind him, which is absolutely great. Absolutely awesome. We are allies with Australia. I love the cape. I love that we have an animal as a hero, because, you know, Australia is known for their wildlife. You know, yeah, their people are great. Absolutely. But their wildlife is so
unique
beautiful.
To their continent. It's unique to that continent.
It really is. It really is. And then we have the dinosaur here as the villain, which is super interesting because there have not been any dinosaur bones found in the continent of Australia, but they have found fossils of footprints and other evidence showing otherwise. No bones though. So I think it's very interesting that Midge decided to come up with this idea of a dinosaur for the villain of Australia.
Yeah, it's like an impossibility, but they could totally make it possible in a comic book of sorts.
Good work.
The fact you mentioned that they can't find a fossil, but they can find footprints. There's something to that.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one. Uganda. This is the country of Uganda. I love this one. We have a strong protagonist here. Okay? He's ready for action. He doesn't hide his face. He doesn't need to hide his face because he's ready for it. And we have Ugandan colors. We have the soldier type outfit, the armor, which is actually it. So I'm getting I love he has like the shoulder pad armor and like the collar around his neck. And then we also have like this kind of like Dune style wear on his chest where it doesn't look like armor per se. It looks like the armor is the inside and it's like kind of clothy outside. Looks very comfortable.
Astronaut outfit more.
Yes, absolutely. Looks more comfortable. It looks like he can move around in it more. Our villain,
breathing apparatus.
Our villain.
It's the villain that scares me, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at this villain and I'm freaking out. I think that one of the most interesting things about him is the stamp symbol on his head, the triangle, the bloody triangle. Is that like, so you know how
witch doctor,
some old guerrilla warfare, they would use the bloody handprint as a symbol. So is this something of the same sort? Is that a symbol of a gang or a
war chief?
Yeah, or like a war chief of some sort. The attire is awesome too. It reminds me a lot of old France. A little bit of old France in there. We got, you know, and when I mean old France, I'm talking about like Napoleonic era, where his jacket looks very Napoleonic. I love the blue tint on his jacket as well. It's very beautiful. I think the colors work really well. and his face paint and
That's it right there. It's the paint.
the two pieces of hair just like make like solidifying like his fear. Good job.
Makes him oblongish and
Yep.
you looking. Yeah, that's the first villain I've seen. I'm like kind of like, ugh. I want to see that guy in real life.
I would love to see a Ugandan superhero tale with these two characters.
Mm-hmm.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
I want to make sure that I'm saying this correctly.
Here, look at Google Translator audio that would say it out loud. Its best ability in how to say it. Best and that.
The pronunciation is Azerbaijan.
I can't even say it now. I'd have to look at
Azerbaijan. It's
Azerbaijan.
I'm not wrong.
Azerbaijan.
I don't want to butcher these names. And we have I like this because it looks like we have a father and son tale here, like Aladdin and the 40 Thieves, where we have a simplistic young son here who wants to protect the lands and keep it the way it's supposed to be. And then we have this villainous father with this empire behind him, which has like remnants of Dubai in it. You know, as you can see with the tall structure, the intricate shapes, the blue oceans, and how like the small buildings are just like, they're just there. You know, they're just like a supporting character. It's in this
show his wealth and power.
Yes. Where does this tale end? I don't know, but I would love to see this continue because we have, you know, this looks like we have family ties. It looks like we have political struggle here. We have one person who wants the people to strive, but we have a man who wants the empire to strive, and that's the imagination I'm grabbing from this.
Wasn't there some historical background in this country too? Year or something. It wasn't around very long. It was like a state for 2 years.
Yeah, so it was an independent. So it actually was founded.
I thought that was interesting.
Can't find a year of when the country was founded.
Yeah, but it was like, from what I remember you saying, it was like 1918 to 1920. It was only a matter. I forget the actual date.
Well, yeah, it was an independent nation from 1918 to 1920, and then it became incorporated with the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
It became a constituent republic, which is a union republic, in 1936, and then it declared sovereignty in 1989 and independence in 1991. Very interesting history that this country has, and a very interesting render that this came out to be. This is definitely one of my favorites. I love how the villain came out, because when we have it's like when we have foreign villains, they're usually old and tall, and you know, they have like dare I say, the drip on them is great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not mad.
The play on old values versus new values. That's been a constant theme in a lot of stories throughout the ages.
Yep.
You know.
And our next one is America. Super interesting. We have Batman here. Interesting enough, Midge didn't put Superman here. Instead, we have a Captain America style rendition of Batman.
Americanized him a little more.
You know, and to be honest with you, I feel like Batman is a better representation of in the perspective. We have a young man who lost his parents. Mm-hmm. You know, spoiled rotten, right? But his selflessness to
That's
protect,
the point of hedonism.
yeah, his selflessness to protect the whole city. In this case, a whole country. Can it be done? Can we see the Justice League make their way over to the Middle East or to Russia or to another conflict, possibly France or England during a World War III conflict? Can we see that? The villain that we have here is you would think it's the Joker, but it's not. I get Payday vibes off of this. I don't know if you've ever played the game Payday.
The game?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I couldn't remember the name of the game, and I'm glad you're here to fill me in.
When I think of American villains, I think of more like bank robbers. People, we're thinking more of the Wild West side of things, where back in the day, the American way was making money, robbing banks, stealing gold, right? And I don't get that. I don't get. How am I saying this? It's not far off of the emotion that I'm getting. No, I do get that impression from this villain here. We have. He doesn't want to hurt nobody. He just wants to gain for himself, and I think that speaks for a lot of American villains.
Just calling the Anarchy.
We could call him Anarchy, and America Man.
It's mistaken for the Joker, and it pisses him off.
Yep.
That would be an interesting villain story right there. Just like in the world of villains, like always getting mistaken for some more popular, like someday I'm just going to kill that son of a gun, and then I'm fused you anymore.
He's just going to do it.
Yeah.
Next one. Brazil. Brazil is our number 2 country that listens to the artificial mind. Very grateful. I get very Tekken Street Fighter vibes with the hero. What about you?
Yep. And I was going to point out that for all you lady listeners and viewers watching our show, this is probably the one time you would want to really, really want to check out the pictures, because
this is definitely not for us.
This is for the ladies out there. This is for all you swimmers.
The swimmers?
The swimmers.
Just the swimmers.
Well, I got his best story, John. He was a swimmer in high school, and he was like the best in all of his runs, and that's where it started. And he just went with it, became a professional bodybuilder, and he's a model on the side. Oh, I gave this thought. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't. I'm just guessing. But I really, ladies, I think if you really want to check, if you're into the bods on superheroes, I want to check out.
And don't forget our male listeners too. They
True. Yes, I forget. I do forget.
Sometimes they want a little piece of Brazil Man here. But I don't think that they don't want to take a piece of the villain here, because this guy is scary. Probably just as scary as the Ugandan one. I love, and this is something I just noticed too about him. Like, look at his crown type headdress there. It's almost like he is representing like the Amazons of Brazil through his headdress and through his wear. As you can see, the flag hanging on the right side representing who he is and what he wears as a culture. Now, I don't know if we could call this a mask, what he's wearing, or if that is this character's face. But whatever it is, I'm frightened.
Or headdress.
Yeah.
More like a headdress. I like the fact that the hero and villain are both sporting the flag. I think that's been that way in a couple of these pictures so far. So it's like, that's an interesting duality too, is the fact that they're both fighting for their cause, but they both picture their country still.
Yeah. This is a fight of morality.
Ideals, yeah. A fight of ideals and moralities. Yep.
I like that. All right. Slide 24. The Roman Empire. I like
shit.
I like this a lot.
This would be a good show.
Yeah. I like it a lot. There were so many Roman shows. We had Rome, which was actually a great show that lasted 2 seasons, but I believe that it was shut down because of budget problems. If you have played games like, what is that Roman game that came out? It was the first Xbox One game that came out.
I was thinking like Civilization or something, but that's more like strategy games. And you got like hordes of Romans, not just one. I was kind of thinking of Assassin's Creed in a sense too.
There's
I don't know if there was a Roman one for that.
There were so many. There's Glory of the Roman War, Rome, Total War. There was Rise, Son of Rome. That's what it's called. Rise.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely getting Rise, Son of Rome vibes here. I love it. Okay. We also have here the villain who is so like, like he looks like a man of tradition. A man who wants to
keep. He's made of stone.
Yeah, it's scary. It is scary. He is scary, man. He is scary.
He sleeps in the mud.
Yeah. Oh, my picture's in the oven. It is ready.
Okay.
What else you got? What other thoughts you got here?
Well, it's cool. Once again, we're going back to like the animalistic properties of like a hero and a villain. The hero is wearing I guess falcons were big for their culture. I know eagles were big for their culture, so we'll say it was an eagle, but they probably dyed the feathers red to make him more brilliant. The villain's awesome just for the fact that they made him rapid. I know the right word. I'm trying to think. Like I said, he looks like rock or stone. He looks more, well, he wouldn't be non-natural. They both sport the eagle, so they're, again, it's what I'm liking about these pictures is they take a hero, they take a villain, and they take one thing that they both have in common, and then you get to see the paths that happen when they go that way. So, like, the hero's always got this, like, bright aura about them, and the villain's always darker, usually.
Yeah.
Might have a slight... That's another thing, too, I guess, too, with the villain pictures, is there's always a slight trace of light. There's always, like, these glimpses.
So sorry. It completely changed.
Oh, did it? Oh, you're good.
Okay.
There's these little glimpses of light of like when they come out of their darkness. And you see that commonly with comic book stories.
I could see so you ever seen that movie it was Apocalypto and the Last of the Mohicans?
Mel Gibson?
Yeah, I would love to see like a Roman movie in the style of that.
That would be awesome.
Here comes a good one. Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about this one? I'll let you go first.
Oh, this seems to be a theme. I don't know if it had to do with the prompts that he was typing in, or it's just how MJ was going about it. A lot of the themes so far with their heroes and villains is that they're both sharing a background of their country, which I like because it's going along with the heroes and villains subject matter with, countries and stuff. So here we have, again, hero with the Canadian flower, good Lord, leaf in the background, and he's got his
Canadian flower. I'm never going to let that go.
Mountie. Don't remind me of Mountie hat. And then on the other side, you got, and you actually had an actual term for that guy. Like he was...
the Ogopogo.
Up in the Ogopogo. And John will give you some background on that because I didn't even remember that. I remember the name now. But yes, it definitely has an Ogopogo aspect to it.
So the Ogopogo, in Canadian folklore, is a cryptid. It's a Canadian cryptid, but it's also a lake monster. The Ogopogo has actually been represented in many cartoons, in many in children's parks. Believe it or not, the Ogopogo is actually one of the most famous children's splash pad park attractions out there, which is the dragon up and down going into the water. He's like spitting the water outside on the sides.
Mhm.
I mean I'm looking at the prompts from the files that were sent, and it's just as simple as Canada as a villain, Canada as a hero. So his prompts, they're very simple, and there's something that MJ is picking up.
Well, it's sticking to the fact that they're both from that country, so I like the
Yep.
fact that they're showing their representation of their country just in a different way, a darker side of it and a brighter side of it.
Yep.
It's cool.
I do
It has
like
not
it.
been done actually until now.
It has not, and I love the hero here. I think what really makes the hero is the hat. You know, our heroes are usually wearing masks or something close to that, and this hero is wearing a hat, like an explorer's hat.
I think of the movie, is it Broken? The M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Okay.
And there's a part of the movie, and it does make a lot of sense. You'll notice this in comic books, that they always make the good guy or good woman or good character, for that matter, have a pronounced chin, like their jaw structure, their faces, they look more stronger looking. And then the villains are always like mangled or contorted. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier with some of these villains, is they make the bad guys look contorted. Their arm structure is ridiculous. It's not the right length. They're made out to be gangly, more Gollum looking, if you will.
Yeah.
There's truth into that.
Interesting. Next one, what we have here is the Ottoman Empire. You know anything about the Ottoman Empire?
This was about the same time as the Napoleon era, right? I want to say it was around that time, or Persian times.
I get my things mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
From what
It seems like it was around that time period, like what, 1700s to 1800s, maybe? That's what I'm thinking. The Ottoman Empire. It might have been before that even. Just get the feeling like it's around Alexander, Persian, one of those. Ottoman might have even been an alliance or one and the same with Persia.
So it lasted for 600 years.
Whoa. Okay.
Started in the 1300s.
13. Okay.
It came to an end in 1922, and it was replaced by the Turkish Republic and various successor states in the southeastern Europe and Middle East.
Okay.
What I love about this is that you're looking at both, and you're just like, who's the hero and who's the villain?
Yeah.
But I could tell you exactly which one is the hero and who is the villain. To the left, we have a colorful hero, and we have the shoulders, Napoleonic style jacket, gold pendant, and a beautiful hat, headdress, headwear.
Yep.
I don't know what to name the hat. I don't want to make any mistakes.
Would they say turban? I think those would be turbans. At least the villain one's definitely turban.
The villain definitely has got some drip on him. He's got medals up the ass.
He's decorated, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Lex is
So our villain here is a war hero. That's what we're looking at.
bit of a blinkster. Looks to be a little older than the hero too.
Yeah. Almost like they could be brothers.
Mm-hmm. Or uncle and nephew.
Yeah.
Maybe have some family traits. Yeah.
Yep. Ready for the next one? Let's go. China. Talk to me about this one.
I was kind of surprised they chose a kind of a Batman character for China, but we talked about this last time. There is like a actual headdress someone made of like a Batman if it was found in that tomb with all the Chinese soldiers that were made out of clay or terracotta. What I'm talking about?
Yes, the what is that called?
It's not terracotta, but
it's the Terracotta Army.
okay.
The Terracotta Warriors. The Terracotta Warriors.
Someone made a armor, kind of like that, made out of terracotta. It looked awfully like Batman. So it had like all these. It was a Chinese outfit, but you could tell it had some Batman aspects to it. So that's what I'm seeing with this. And the villain, I'm seeing as like I don't want to mix up my countries because I know that
This China, yeah.
Well, I was going to mix up the gangsters and stuff from other countries, and I did not.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? I was trying to think of the Japanese gang,
The Yakuza, yeah.
the Yakuzas, and I wanted to make sure I didn't mix them up with Chinese.
I wonder. This is actually because I've always wondered, like, are they like the Chinese mafia? Triads.
Triad, yeah.
God, I play so much GTA. How did I not think of that?
Triads, I haven't heard Triad brought up in a long time. Actually, one of the few times I did hear of the Triads was in a comic book. I want to say it was a Spider-Man comic. Now I'm thinking about it, I know exactly which one.
Yeah.
It was one with Kingpin in it.
So I like that you bring that up. I definitely get like a triad feel to him, or
Yeah.
like maybe he's like a politician that's connected with the triads too. And I like this too because it looks like maybe like his face shows that at one point he was once a good man, and the red is just like overtaken and bringing out the worst in him. And it's just like he loves every bit of attention, every bit of money, and every drop of blood that's there.
The blood's on his hands.
I love the Batman
Little
comparison.
space.
I love the Batman comparison when it comes to the hero here. There is actually a character, he is, he's Chinese. He is considered as the Chinese Batman. I'm trying to pull up his name right now. Wang Boxi.
Oh, yeah.
Wang Boxi, which WB, BW, Bruce Wayne Bruce. No, so
Get it?
yeah, so I feel the comparisons here. I love what I'm seeing here, but what I love the most about him is his waist protector, how it goes down and looks like a kimono of some sort. Looks very comfortable. Yeah. Looks very, really, yep,
It's very breathable.
very, very comfortable. Ready for the next.
Do it. We're flying to a different country. Where are we going? We don't know.
We are going to Taiwan.
Oh, sweet. Taiwan's pretty badass.
Taiwan is probably top three for me. Top three for me.
They don't like computer chips there. That's interesting. I think this is the first one we've seen with a female hero so far.
Yep,
Correct?
absolutely.
So that's good. We need representation.
I love it too. We have a Taiwanese hacker type individual here. Look
Looks like in Payday again. It's just the mask, man. They anytime you throw a mask on like that, I'm just gonna think it's a Payday, the video game, but
Yeah.
or Payday or the Purge.
Yeah, I'm also getting what I'm getting here. So with the villain, I'm getting like Hacker Man vibes. No, like a hacking ninja type guy. Okay, and with the way that he's dressed, he's very mysterious. No weapon, so he's probably good with his hands. Our female here, our Taiwanese female, who I think is a great representation as a hero for this country. We're getting like Winter Soldier, Metal Gear Solid vibes here, which I really, really like. And if we're dealing with a villain who looks like he's aced in hand-to-hand combat, what can she do? Is she a weapon specialist? Is she great in CQC? What's her training like? This is probably the one story that needs to be made today.
Yeah, I'd be interested on her Saudi aspect. Just knowing the background with Tyrell Wan, and that's basically the mecca of like technology,
Mm-hmm.
where he gets their tech chips from. That would be implemented into her on her side of the story.
Yep.
Well, I guess his too, because he would be a hacker. She'd be the other side of that.
Maybe they want to work together.
Ooh, they started out at the same company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Now, let's take a trip back to the other side because we're going to Costa Rica. Yep. So talk. So
You want me to go off first?
yeah, go first. Go first.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go villain first. I like that it is a mask or very well done face paint, but I'm gonna say it's a mask. But what I liked about it is that he's possibly got some kind of infection going on. It's going through the mask. It's cracked through it. Or he's just been in so many damn fights that his mask is cracked, and that's what's showing through is like his infection. And then it's represented his control over this town. So maybe this story isn't necessarily about the country itself, more so than it is a town. And these two people, the good guy and the bad guy, hail from the same town, same mountain area.
It's almost like our hero is on the other side of the mountain.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah, he's looking over on the other side. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's definitely two perspectives because look, we have the foggy, snowy peaks, and look at the other side. The villain is overlooking. What I love about this, our hero looks like he wants to protect nature. He wants to protect the original lands. Our villain here with his mask with the remnants of the Costa Rican flag on it. And for me, the purple is like he has it drawn on his mask to represent a broken country. Mm-hmm. Or to his perspective, a broken country. It's
so Costa Rica's had some hard times, if I remember it correctly, like the hurricanes the last 10. Mm-hmm. Remember when I was in the Army, they got hit pretty bad, and their like whole country was out of power, damn near. They had one power station for the whole thing. So they keep picking themselves up, but good luck.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So, you ready to go to Sweden?
Sweden. Which happens to be one of the countries that is on Antarctica.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I want to start off by saying I love this like warrior look that our hero has. Some people would probably say the first thing they see is Batman, right? Mm-hmm. I did not see Batman.
I didn't because the ears aren't right. It's more Celtic, or not Celtic, Viking-ish maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think like when I think of Sweden, I know it's probably not there, like Transylvania, places like that with big castles and brooding people. This character here, our hero, is just a warrior, a knight in shining armor, if you will, a Robin Hood at that, if you ask me. And this is him. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. This is probably one of the coolest ones that came out.
Sort of a Templar feel, knightish.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with like with his cape, the way that he has his cape around him. Our villain definitely got like comic book vibes to him. Super evil, super drippy, and he's got the damn chair too.
They gotta have a chair.
Gotta have the chair.
Villains like comfort.
Say again?
I said villains like comfort.
And they like to look good too.
Yeah, they like style and really nice big chairs. 20 swords coming out of it. That kind of stuff.
The villain kind of gives me like a Loki vibe too.
Yeah.
The hair. This one came out really good. Blue and yellow are my favorite colors too. I'm an X-Men fan, Fallout, you get the deal.
Oh yeah, Fallout. Didn't think about that till now.
No, but yeah, it's there. Next, we're going to the past, and we're going to Egypt, baby.
Oh yeah.
This came out so damn dope. So dope. Okay? The hero looks like he's ready to fly into action, okay? The armor, pure gold, baby. Pure gold.
AG, baby.
Okay? Then you cannot tell me any different that this dude probably has the best outfit out of all our heroes and villains that we've seen so far in this episode.
And wear that at a cosplay.
Oh, me too.
Really?
I love his helmet. I love the feathers in the back.
Yeah,
Like representation of like an Egyptian king.
got a wisp of Native American too, just because of the feathers in the back too.
Yeah,
It acts as a headdress for American.
and it looks like it can be too. Our villain looks like he wasn't mummified correctly. And
Got up on Tuesday when he was picked up on Monday.
He definitely opened up someone's tomb. Someone that he wasn't supposed to, and he was cursed. And now the only way that he could get his body back is by defeating the purest of heart in the land. And that's our hero here.
He has like a moon ra. Well, that was the villain in Thundercats, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I love the Thundercats too.
I wouldn't mind seeing a remake of that if they do it right. Because it's
Got to have our boy Kurt Russell
That'd
play Lino.
really.
I'd love that.
I would be down with that. I can picture that.
Mm-hmm. What do we have next? The Bloody Scots.
Hey. Interesting colors for this.
Yeah.
Other than the common red. Red I get. The blue and white flag. I don't know what's going on with that.
That is their flag. Oh, you saw about the villain?
On either one, I guess I don't know their background.
Oh, so I'm actually super familiar with the Scottish. I have many friends who are.
I thought I was too, but I guess not.
Yeah, so that is their flag. That is, it looks great. And what I know about the Scottish is that they are some of the nicest people in the world, but you don't want to cross them.
Right.
When looking at the hero, I'm getting Braveheart vibes. Okay. What was the character's name that he played? Wallace, William Wallace.
Yeah, William Wallace.
So it's like we have this William Wallace character, obviously defending the lands, and then we have in the villain side this Scottish emperor with
Dark
this
magic,
with this brooding castle. Yeah, he definitely looks like he knows some dark magic. Definitely a mask. What do you think?
looks like a skull. That's why I think dark magic. He wears a skull of one of his conquests.
Wow.
So he feels like he gathers energy from that person's dead soul wearing a skull.
I love the castle, and I love that he has like a reverse Scottish flag, whereas the regular Scottish flag is like out. His flag is like, yeah, it's like it's in. Very interesting.
I've never seen the Scottish flag. I always assumed it was going to look like their kilt colors, like a red and green pattern. I'm sorry, that could be me, but that's always what I can.
No, yeah, absolutely. So now we have France now, and true to their colors. True to their colors. I love the hero and the villain equally in this one.
Mm-hmm.
The hero is, I love watching and reading things about the Napoleonic era of France. Just the way that they dress, the sword fighting, the culture. It was something. It was very, very, very remarkable. And
is that where you're picking up like a time period in this?
I am picking up. I'm picking up like maybe like 1200, not even maybe 1500s here. And I'm also getting the same timeline here with the villain, and he just looks like he wants to suck the soul out of all the good out of France. He looks greedy. He looks fascist. He looks like he will never die.
I want to say they both look like they're master fencers too. Because I'm get France. That's what I think of too. Is like fencing.
That would be the final battle.
Yep. Both skilled at fencing because that's kind of what it was like back then. Like martial arts are for today, you know.
Absolutely. Next one.
There's so many pistolas.
This one is Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow.
This one,
color.
the villain in this one came out so beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Now, what if the villain in this one is a woman?
That's the mystery, isn't it? You know, and are we, you know, I'm not going to get very political here, but is this villainous woman fighting for specific rights? And is that the story?
Mm-hmm.
You know, who is
really the hero? Who's the villain in this? This could be like what's your perspective?
Yeah, this is a perspective story where we have, and well, wait, here comes the twist. Our male hero falls in love with the villain.
Good one.
You know, because maybe he doesn't agree with her ideals, but maybe he likes her spirit. Maybe he likes being around her, which then changes.
Both have the fighting spirit for the country.
Yeah, you know what? You know, everyone has their own perspectives of where they're from and how they would want to change it, and it makes it no difference here. It makes it no difference here.
It's like they both strive for the same thing. They want something good. It's just how they see what good is, and that's what the common struggle in real life.
Or how they get it.
Right. Yep. Means to get what you want.
Yeah. We have here next the Germans.
The Germans.
I got to talk about the drip here.
Yeah.
My boy, the hero, got the retro 1989 glasses on. Okay? He's built rock solid. Look at
German boys eat. German boys
and they're the best engineers in the world.
Yeah.
Look at the stuff that they created in time. Okay? And their structures, their machinery, their planes, their boats, they are great at what they do. And I get this like industrial steel armor feel to our hero here. And he's like representing the workers with the goggles, the glasses.
He's the epitome of them.
Yeah, you know, he is a working class superhero. You know, and he just wants to stop the bullshit. Our villain here, I love his look. I love that, just again, you know, because Germany, known for, you know, they have strong military history. Okay, and don't just look at the one history. Look at all of it.
Yeah,
there was so
what it is.
There was so much.
The whole.
There was so much that happened before and after World War II that people don't realize about Germany. So many great things. So many great things that the German people have done, and even
Berlin Wall coming down.
Yeah, and I also want to add in too. They're right now. Their Hollywood is rising, and they have been coming out with some of the best works of film I've seen in the last couple of years.
I have been impressed with a lot of the countries that are doing more of their own movies, and you're seeing them on like Netflix and stuff like that now. And honestly, they're pretty good. They're a lot better than some of the stuff we've been pumping out lately. Mm-hmm. So take notes, Hollywood.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Take a look at
We're missing out.
What was I saying?
We were just talking about like Germany, and like
So like,
whole
yeah. So
history should be.
people don't, they don't realize how much history is out there within all the countries that we talked about today. There is so much history about them, and everyone just wants to look at the bad. But there is so much beauty within all of
You only,
this.
it's like you only get a stamped version of what you get to see or hear about each country too. So it's nice to hear some of these things like I that I don't know about, like freaking
The Ogopogo.
Scotland having that flag, or Ogopogo. So there's a lot of stuff I didn't know about
And-
already that I learned on here today.
And I really like our villain. And I really like how we're staying away from the obvious German history, and we're going into something more different, something more special, where we have this. He looks kind of young, but kind of old. He's like, what do you call those? Daddies? Silver foxes? You know?
Okay. That's a new term for you. Cool.
You know, he's got like this daddy look to him with his hair. And, usually the ones with the pretty boy looks are usually the worst ones to deal with.
I just thought of something when you were talking about that. After all the actual Star Wars movies came out and they did the books, there was a villain, and he looks kind of remind me of that guy. General Tolkien.
Grievous?
Grievous. No, not General Grievous, because that was a robot, right?
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. Well.
No. This was after like Return of the Jedi. This is books. So this was like the ones where like Luke had his wife and all that kind of stuff. Not think of it. It's just like it's right after Return of the Jedi. And there's a Jedi that took over, and he looks a lot like that dude.
Yeah, there were so many great villains in the Star Wars too. And if you look at the influences, a lot of these characters too have German influence in the way that some of them speak. Germany has strong influence in today's media, and
A lot of stuff.
yeah, it's
Well,
no
even
cool.
films. Star Wars was inspired by World War II. I mean, you look at film reels of Pan, like in their fighting tactics and their planes driving by.
Yeah.
You see the exact same thing in the Death Star shots.
You really do. You really do.
Definitely inspired by
Our villain looks great, decorated war veteran, as you can tell. So let's go on to the next one. Russia.
Russia. This is one I never knew about. Oh, did you say Russia?
Russia.
Okay, I heard Russia.
Oh yeah. Well, I was trying to do the accent. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm getting old in my hearing too.
Yeah.
Make sure. Mother Russia.
Mother.
Say in Russia. I don't remember. I've never been there.
So we have a obviously handsome young Russian male as our hero.
I got those cheekbones.
They really did get like Midge really got the cheekbones right on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like straight up.
He is.
This guy looks like a knight in shining armor.
Got it going out.
He's gorgeous. He's got the armor on him. He's got like this royal pendant. This royal prince is ready for the action. And our villain here looks like he's using St. Petersburg as a head of operations.
Mm-hmm. One who actually runs that place.
Yeah. He is scary. He is fucking scary.
I'm glad they didn't go down the Rasputin route for a villain. They kind of
Me too.
It's a totally different route.
Yeah, this gave us more like a dark. I almost feel like a lot of like the European villains that we had like this vampire-esque look to them.
Yep.
It's very.
Or he's won the prize.
Yeah, so far. Next, we have
That very deep, huge cowl going around his neck.
Great Britain. All right. Before I give my thoughts. I need to hear what you have to say about this.
Well, I think this is the first picture. I think this is the first picture that I've noticed now that I'm kind of giving it some look. That good old Midjourney in its hands. You see that? Hero.
Did it again.
Yeah, we got no hands. They almost look like pig feet. Okay. No, I'm not making fun of Britain in that way. I'm just saying that's Midjourney's fault on that. They both got Big Ben in the background. So again, Midjourney sticking to, they stick to their countries.
Sure, there's no landmarks and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. And the flags, how they both sport it. It's interesting how the Captain Britain's sporting his like a more of a swimsuit. And he's got an 8-pack, not a 6-pack.
Yeah. I definitely think that he needs more clothes. I think we're in full agreement there. But I mean, look, I think we could all agree that maybe it's time that we start letting male superheroes show off some leg. Like wrestlers, all right?
It's my preference. Anyone else can have. I mean, I'm fine with everybody else seeing that.
Hey,
you like 8-pack? Go for 8-pack. I can barely drink a 2-pack.
Yeah, hey, if this is your style, go for it. Our villain looks like a zombie.
Red Scully.
The very, very red Scully. He's got that red trench coat, and it almost looks like the Britain flag is like a part of his skin.
Like it burnt into him.
Very interesting.
Cinched into him.
We have a few more.
Do we? Are we halfway?
We are more than halfway. Norway.
This is cool.
Yep, I do too. Okay, so we got the snow vibes. We got like this, but not
all
Viking.
The elements of...
No, I don't want to say Viking, but more like a snow warrior. We're getting like
royalty,
definitely royal warriors here. But who is bad and who is good? We can tell through the emotions, but at the end of the story, it almost looks like our brooding character over to the right is going to be the protagonist.
Sometimes the dark lit one is the good guy, and sometimes the bright one is the bad guy. Yeah, could be one of them instances.
Yeah, and look at the detail on the hero's chest plate too. Mm-hmm. Almost kind of like he has like a ruby armor on it to represent his rank within his group. Also could be some kind of celebration wear too, because the cape is flowing. It is flowing.
It's flowing, but it looks like a thick cape that keep you warm. Like most capes you see that heroes or villains wear look awfully thin. That sucker looks like you could sleep in it and be warm. Looks fleece, like a big fleece. It's warm. I want it.
This one, we have a really cool one up next. This one is India. So what I really like about this is very, very traditional to the Indian culture. We have the face paint. I'm going to get this now. There is actually a celebration that just happened just a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been a couple weeks ago. I'm not too sure. Like that, it's all new to me. It's a joyful Anandamela. The joyful festival of India. So,
and it's kind of like a festival we would have down in like New Orleans, like a cultural.
Yeah. So, but in Indian culture, they have the tilak, It's a mark generally made on the forehead, and this is something that we're familiar with, that we've
Oh.
saw in everyday lives, but we're not seeing that here. What we're seeing is a new form of tribal warrior trying to stick away from, looks like from his traditional, the traditional ways of what they believed in, and maybe wanting to go further with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you notice too, he has on his face, he has the white. And in Indian culture, the tilaka, it's a mark created by the application of powder or paste on the forehead. They are vertical markings worn, but they are worn by Vaishnavites, a sect of Hinduism.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of cultural themes here that Midjourney definitely picked up, which came out beautiful. I mean, our villain here looks right to a perfect villain to fight against a man, our hero here, who is there with the people, and he is with his people. If you can see behind him,
Mm-hmm.
it's very, both of the villain came out very beautiful here. I have to say.
Well, with their culture too, the dot in their head, isn't it a part of the
That's a lot.
third eye as well? A lot, yeah. Does that have to do with the belief of third eye too, possibly, or is that something completely different?
I don't know.
I
don't know. This is something that I would love to learn, though.
Mm-hmm.
Next, the Irish.
Hey, what? I got ahead. See, I got Lassie on the right there. She's not doing so good.
Nope.
No, not at all. It's a little sad. Giving her a pint show ladies right now.
Yeah. Well, so we have like a revolutionary time Irishman here as our hero. Depending what time it is, the dress wear is actually quite perfect. I have a female villain who does not look like she is going to be going to the tea party, all right? Especially not one in Boston. So first off, just the way that she looks, how she came out, her design itself, like someone threw a paint can and just threw it on the canvas, and that's what came out. Like that it looks great. The hat,
I get a feeling of an alternate history comic,
ooh,
like a colonial time
yeah.
in Ireland. Yeah, but it definitely like an alternate history version of a time period.
Yeah, I love his green uniform. I think I don't know how accurate that is, but if it is pretty accurate, I'd like to know more about it. It looks,
I'm not sure if it is or
yeah, it looks.
it just be playing along with the green, but
Yeah. Now,
it looks good.
but what's the story do we have here? Do we have a brother and a sister? Quarantine hours.
That's a rare subject. Brother and sister
Yeah,
villain, and
a brother and sister story of two people with different ideas.
I'm trying to think if there's a story that comes up right away that's like that. Is there one that pops in your head? A brother and sister duality?
No.
Usually partners, if they're in a story together, they're like, Wonder Twins unite, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But I can't not think of one.
very interesting.
What's our next one?
Our next one is Mongolia. Mongolia came out really good. You could definitely see our hero in bright colors, and that's been a big theme with our heroes. Our heroes are wearing bright colors, mostly blue. It seems like blue.
Yeah.
It's like a major. We have royalty, trust. I can even tell you right now, hope.
Blue signified a lot.
And especially here from supercolor.com, it says here, blue, the meaning of the color blue represents both the sky and the sea and is associated with open spaces, freedom, intuition, imagination, inspiration, and sensitivity. Blue also represents meanings of depth, trust, loyalty, sincerity, wisdom, confidence, stability, faith, and intelligence.
You have a calming effect too, depending.
Yeah, now if you also see, our villain here has shades of blue on his face with an ashy colored face paint on him, most likely symbolizing war. He is
war.
He is a warmonger. And, from games like Civilization Revolution, when you go back to those games, these are games where you learn about how all these different cultures acted during their times when we tried to claim land on Earth. This one came out so good. So good.
Played that, right?
Oh, yeah. I still play it to this day.
How many different cultures or tribes can you play? Or what did you on that? Limitless?
It's
make up imaginary ones, or is it like actual real tribes?
You can't make up imaginary ones. That would be cool though, but there are a lot. They're very inclusive when it comes to countries and cultures and things like that.
Playing Genghis Khan's in it then.
Oh yeah, Genghis Khan's the main character.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure Genghis Khan has been in every Civilization game.
I mean, he's like one of the biggies.
Yep.
Then Alexander.
And now,
at the same time.
And now we are going into the land of the rising sun, Japan. I know you love this stuff, so I'd love to hear.
It's just cool that they're both sporting some samurai kind of armor.
Oh yeah,
there. It's interesting. So, I think I'm going to pick up another alternate history here, and maybe the samurai era and how the war tribes became more modern and technical, and how war tribes thrived. So this could be a story where the good guy and the bad guy could just be warring tribes. It's not a matter of one's protecting a particular country, because I'm not seeing both of them sporting the same ideal, background as far as a flag or anything.
Absolutely.
So I'm thinking this is more of a territory. This is a territory dispute.
Absolutely. What I see. So our hero definitely has more of a. So we have deep samurai here with kind of I want to say metallic masking. Metallic masking to represent fear, to represent I'm not one to be trifled with. This is me. And our villain here is just out here just letting people know I'm here to eat you. I'm gonna eat you. I would love to see a samurai fight between these two, swords sparking, people flipping, kimonos getting ripped, the whole nine. The whole nine.
Arching blood spurts, typical of Japan.
Yeah.
It's animation movie.
Yeah.
You get a paper cut and it just shoots out.
Mm-hmm. This one came out so good. It came out really good. I know you're a sucker for Japanese anything.
Any kind of Asian culture.
Yeah.
Love it.
Asian,
Chinese, Japan.
Korean culture is very beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. We're almost done. We are almost done.
Maybe we got
2 more.
Down to the 2.
Yep.
I might sneeze. I'm so excited.
Wow.
I did.
Oh, bless you.
I sneezed. Thank you.
So our next one is Lebanon.
Oh, there's a cool.
Very, very, very cool stuff going on here. These look more like really intricate posters or t-shirt designs. For our hero, we have a soldier. We have a Lebanese soldier. And you could see the city of Lebanese, and actually you can see the building of what I think is Le Dôme de Sursac on his cover there, on his helmet. And I think it came out so good. Now with the villain, I'm almost certain that that is either the 44 Tower building in Lebanon or also the Les Domes de Sursac building. And what is so interesting about the villain to me is that we're not dealing with a person.
Yeah.
We're dealing with nature. You know, we're talking about I mean, we could even go up to the realm that this could even be spiritual in a sense. You know, you don't fuck with the forests of Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we have a villain comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms. You know, and in this case, this villain is nature.
Good twist.
You know, and and we have a brooding face on this mountain here or tree. Like what does that look more like to you?
Yeah, a tree that could be a part of a mountain, but it's definitely got the tree outline going down. You got an interesting, when you were starting to talk about your idea of it, I was thinking, like, what if this comic story that takes place, you said Lebanon, right?
Yep.
What if these two pictures were propaganda? So you're not necessarily seeing the actual hero or villain. You're seeing the propaganda of each side. Like this is what people are putting on the walls in their streets. Like their hero looks like this, and the propaganda for that looks like this, and the propaganda against the villain is like this. You're seeing,
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I'm definitely getting propaganda vibes with the hero too, like with the way that the poster, or the way that the image is rendered. A lot of like propaganda, and we're talking all propaganda, good, bad. It's all
right.
Propaganda. You know?
Exactly.
Just the style of it, just that propaganda style poster. Yeah,
stencil looking.
I would definitely.
Banksy. I was thinking it kind of looked
Banksy. Absolutely. I would love to do an episode on Banksy, by the way. And yeah, so we have one more. And it is Mexico. I wanted to save. I felt like the best needed to be saved for last because I feel like all the themes were here. For our hero, we have a desperado-looking individual. You know, he's got his sombrero. He's got almost like kind of like Wild West militaristic gear on. It looks almost early 1900s. Early 1900s. The hands are being weird, but it almost looks like there's a blade, kind of like Assassin's Creed stylish there. Yeah. Looks really good. I love the hero is doing the Mexican flag itself is flowing in the back, full of representation, and then we have our villain who is very Dias de los Muertos. You know, am I wrong?
Muy detailed.
Yeah, and
mucho detail.
Yeah, and what I love about it is that there is, it's a mask. And you can see the human ears in the back, and you can see that this mask it's very traditional in Mexican culture with some of the celebrations that they are known for. We have again like a lot of Mexico and the Wild West seem to correlate a lot together. So we're getting more of that Wild West armor looking, and the sash on his collar, all that stuff there. This to me came out the best.
The villain, I swear that looks like a screenshot from a video game. The detail in that picture of this villain just looks like something, a screenshot about a video game. The detail's done so well on that.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, I'm glad you saved this one for last, because that villain, he looks like he could be in Red Dead Redemption.
He looks like he could be someone that you could a boss fight. Yeah. Which I would have loved to have seen.
A freak show boss fight. Like, where the hell did you come from? It's too long.
Yeah, and I actually wouldn't even be mad if Fortnite made a character with the hero there, because I think that skin would be really, really dope.
That is the best one.
Really dope. So that was it. That was it.
24.
24, our longest episode yet. I have to say, Heroes and Villains. What are your thoughts, man? What did you think of today?
Well, I'm thankful. Was it Red that said those? You said.
Say that again.
You said it was Red that sent all those to us.
Yes, Red.
Okay. Thanks, Red, for sending all those in, because we're always like telling people to send stuff in, and by the time we don't get a whole lot of material. So you brought us material. Thanks a lot, dude. Yeah. For any other people that want to do that, there's a possibility we could make a whole podcast out of what you made. So really good idea.
I would love to see more submissions like this, as big as they are. This obviously was a huge one, and there was a lot to talk about. There was a lot to unpack here, and there was also a lot of things that we learned today too. I had a good time talking about this, and guys, if that we have a whole section, the Clean Sanchez Media Discord. You could email them to us. You could send it to us on Instagram. Write to us. Let us know. We are never short of ideas, and we know you're not either. Just send it in. We want to hear from you. We want to promote.
We love the inspiration,
and that's really the big thing, because we get inspired by your work too. Yeah. And with saying that, you have any final thoughts?
I'm going to get better as I go with this on final thoughts and saying hello at the beginning of these shows. I want to sound a little more meaningful, but not overboard. Just keep sending what you got.
Fine.
You like what you're doing. You like what you're doing.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine. But guys, thank you so much for coming to episode 24. 25 will be here this week or next week. But, thank you so much for being there. Like, subscribe. Leave a comment, leave a review, tell us what you don't like, tell us what you do like, and
let us know you're there.
Yeah, see you next time.
Peace.